Congratulations. I think I've heard you be asked countless times about confidence coming from a performance. What about confidence coming from a result like that and a win like that at Old Trafford?
Yeah, I've talked about fine margins and big moments, and obviously we've taken them big moments tonight. It was always going to be, it was always would have been needed a special performance to get a result, especially the way they're going. And maybe we've caught them on a day where they were just a little bit below, and that gives us an opportunity to get a result. They're a fabulous team, and they've got some brilliant players. Manager got a lot of respect for, and it's a good feeling and maybe a reward for keep going and sticking at it.
You know your players so well. Did you sense that was coming, because they stuck to the plan, didn't they?
I think we've had a lot of those games this season, but we have to play close to near perfect. And if you don't, and if you make odd mistakes like we did against Spurs a couple of weeks ago, the top striker in Europe smashes it in from 25 yards, and Ndombele scores a ridiculous goal and punishes you. It's a brutal league, and you have to be close to or at your best every week, and it's sometimes difficult to do that. But tonight we were good. The structure of the team was good. The shape of the team was good, and I thought we were brave in possession as well. We had to take a pass when we had to. We knew that we wouldn't get a lot of the ball, but we couldn't just keep turning it over, and I didn't think we did that. Created a couple of little half chances, but talk about it. You have to take those big moments, and took two of those that obviously have gained us a big result.
How welcome was it to actually get some good luck for a change, bearing in mind the second goal?
Yeah, obviously a slight deflection, but we all need that bounce of a ball. It's not really happened for us this season, but we've kept going, and we've got an identity from 4 and a half years back. And we've shown that for the majority of the games in that period, and we certainly showed that tonight. And gave ourselves an opportunity, and thankfully we've had a little break and took it and managed to see the game out.
The final point from me, that gives you a lot of motivation for your next game against another Manchester team, doesn't it?
Yeah, mate. You sure? What? Thanks for mentioning it. So this is where we want to be. This is why we're in the division. We earn the right to get into it. We earn the right to stay in it last year, and this is what it's all about. So it's going to be a lot of tight bodies. I think you've seen from team selection and how many the players we're missing. It's going to be a struggle to get a few of them back fit, but we'll give it a go on Saturday. We know we're massively up against it, but this is where we want to be, and we have to accept that challenge.
Thanks, Chris. Enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Hi, Chris. Congratulations on the victory. Simply, are you a proud man tonight, having witnessed that?
I think I'm always a proud man, Andy, involved in this football club of ours. So frustrated man at times as well for the majority of the season, because I don't think our performances have yielded the results that we should have got. But tonight was a good performance, and obviously a huge 3 points for us.
The first manager since 1973 to lead a Sheffield United team to win it at Old Trafford. What does that mean to you?
You ask me all these questions personally, and it's all about a result for a team that's had a tough season so far. So just being told about it. TC scoring a winner, and if Ted Emsley played and Badge played, that's great. No doubt they'll be on the phone to me. But it's great for the players, because it's been, as you know, you followed us all season. It's been a really difficult season. Some stuff that we've not got right, some stuff that we could have controlled, and a lot of stuff that was out of our control. You look at the team tonight. You look at Max Lowe and Leif Mousset possibly could only do 10 minutes. So basically we only had 3 subs. And it's that type of attitude and identity that makes me proud, and delights me. And we had to show all those qualities tonight.
There were obviously the big headline moments in the goals, but how significant was the work off the ball as well in not having a great deal of possession? They didn't actually have a great deal of end product from that. You didn't allow them to.
When you're up against these teams, you're not going to dominate the ball. The world-class teams, the world-class players, the top of the division. We knew it was the type of game it was going to be. Obviously, John Egan missing and Jags playing. A couple of players, Jaden Bogle come and did a job for us. For Kemar Roofe, who was, he's on his second or third start. But I thought the midfield three were good. I thought the experience of the front two was great from a defensive point of view. And when we got the ball, they linked it well and tucked it in and allowed us to get up there with them. And just real good contributions from everybody. I've always said, Andy, from the journey that we've had, our players really need to be close to their best to get any sort of result. And even people talk about last year, they still needed to be at their best to gain points in tight games. There was never once, I can't remember last year, where I sat back and had a cigar on and really sat back and enjoyed the game until the final whistle went. And obviously tonight was exactly the same. So, pleased for everybody. Shape team was good in and out of possession, and we produced a big performance.
Just finally from me, you mentioned the difficulties in selection. Stevens was another absentee there. What's happened to him?
Yeah, he got a whack on his calf on Saturday. He tried to train yesterday and he had an issue. It's a real balancing act this at the moment, Andy, because we could possibly chuck him in and risk. But if we did risk, he'd possibly be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So we took a decision that not to risk. And there's a couple like that at the moment, but we'll get through it. There's no excuses. The players have, produced an outstanding performance. Everybody's contributed. As I said, the front two were great. Ryan and Oliver's contributions were fabulous. Jaden Bogle played in a position I suppose he's never played before and contributed as well. And Jake's going in there and playing as he did, and delighted for the goalkeeper as well, and everybody. So really looking forward to Manchester City away on Saturday, and see if we can give it another go.
Brilliant. Many congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Andy.
Hi, Chris. Congratulations with the results.
Thank you, Per.
So with the first part of the season now behind you and starting the second part like this, with a result like this and playing, it almost seems like your players played their heart out there tonight. What does it mean to you to see this kind of performance from your players? And is this the kind of result that can redefine the season for Sheffield United?
Well, we'll only know, down the line. But we've, it'll do us no harm, Per, to pick up a big result like that tonight. There's no downside in playing well and winning a big game, which is obviously it is tonight for us.
Thanks, Chris. Good luck against City.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye. Nice.
Hi, Chris. John Fleck tonight, that was Flecky back to his best, wasn't it?
I thought the midfield three were outstanding. Shape of the team, way they filled gaps, they broke the play up, drove the game forward. I think, if you ask anybody, the coaching staff, they've seen John, gradually, he's disappointed with the start he's made to the season, but I think over the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, I think gradually getting himself back into form as he has done. Delighted for John and delighted for the midfield three and pleased for the overall team.
Just a word on Kemar Roofe as well. That's a moment he's not going to forget, and an inspired decision by yourself to put him in.
It weren't an inspired decision. It was But Manchester boy, he's had a tough time of it through injuries, so it's a great individual moment for him. Obviously played a lot at Man City through their academy right the way through. As I said, he's had a tough time of it through injuries and real stop-start sort of career at Sheffield United. But yeah, he gave us 50 minutes and he's had a few issues, but to get through 50 and score, he's a popular boy and plays for Keane.
And ironically, last season you took a lot of points off the top six, but ironically this season, I think performance-wise, you've actually performed much better against those sides, even though you haven't got the return, the way that you've set up, the commitment, the discipline, and the way that you've really made those games against those sides really, really competitive.
Yeah, I agree. I think we were closer to Man City this year than what we did last year. They're all tight games, Dave, aren't they? So, or we try to make them as tight as possible, which I think in last season, and we've tried to do it this year, but we've been on the wrong end of results. But you have to get it right here to get any sort of result. The fabulous team, the banging form. But sometimes these performances, come out of the blue for the team that wins and maybe the team that don't get the result. But there's no doubt that they're a really talented side that we're up against. So we'll take a huge amount of confidence. We're playing against world-class players, Pogba, Fernandes, who are ripping the league up. So to lay a glove on them as we did, to make it uncomfortable for them as we did, because they're going so well. We've got to make sure that we use this, and I'm sure that the opposition and Ollie and his team are too good a manager, too good a coaching staff, and too good players to not recover, and I'm sure they will. I'm glad to see the backup, obviously, because they're a talented side.
A lot of people have written you off already, Chris, but is this a performance and a result that says we're still in it?
I'm not too bothered, Nathan, about what people say. I'm really not. I'm more bothered about what happens in that changing room, and what happens in the inner sanctum of the football club. The outside noise, can't really do anything about. You just got to make sure you keep calm and keep working away at it, which we have done. And we've got a break, obviously, deflected goal. They've had a couple of opportunities with Broder's luck a little bit, but I think overall, generally, over what's happened so far in the first part of the season, maybe we've deserved that a little bit, and we have to use it.
Last one for me, Chris. I asked you this question a week or two ago, and you mentioned that you didn't want players to leave in this window because obviously you've seen tonight with only 5 outfield players on the bench. There's just been a couple of reports in the last 24 hours about people interested in your players. Can I just ask, any inquiries for players, and is your stance still the same that you don't want anybody to leave?
Well, you just answered your own question, Nate. Look at the bench. How can we? Let's get rid of 2 or 3 players.
Guilty.
Hello there. Yeah, one of the most impressive things about that was the tactical discipline, wasn't it, that they showed throughout the game, and with the short turnaround time, that made it even more impressive.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think it was mentioned, wasn't it, in the press about how quickly you have to get ready. So, yeah, the players were smart tonight. They played well. The midfield 3 did a great job for us. They filled holes. The 2 centre forwards dropped in around the back of their midfield players and did a job out of possession. And we were a tight unit. We had to be. We obviously had to be, because if you're not, you just get completely ripped apart and opened up. And we had to be. We had to have a real good shape about us, which I was delighted that we did.
And are you expecting a phone call off TC and Badge?
Oh, definitely. I've just turned my phone on. I've not even looked at it. So they'll be. I get messages off those 3 guys week in, week out, and I do from a lot of the boys, from Tony Garner, from all the other boys that I know, and players that I've got to know, ex-players that I've got to know, players that I've played with. I think this club has that feeling, doesn't it? It doesn't forget. And I think once you've played for the football club, I think it is in a way a club that, you know, stays close to you. And so yeah, no doubt, Badge and Ted and TC last goal scorer, I think 73, they were telling me. Delight for them as well, because they care as well.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. See you guys. See you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, really thank Ollie for